All right. So last week we looked at the class code. We looked by site. Can I get this off of here? That would be nice. Sorry about that. And basically, what I've been doing is kind of just reviewing some of the information that we found out. Again, we prioritized. So by several different things, we prioritized class code, cause, detail, cause. And I was thinking about, if you can see on the screen here, this is the tab that I had removed, so it wasn't so big because these are all kind of pictures. And interestingly enough, I was comparing some of our results against what they provide. And I think what's interesting is they provide it by frequency and they provide it by severity. Now, what did we do? After removing the outliers, we multiplied its percent representation from a frequency and a severity perspective to get a risk priority number. And that's how we prioritize. So we've already kind of taken it a step further than what they have done. And the way these things are organized, it's okay. It's pretty simple to do. You can just set up a computer and tell it, hey, give us for these variables, tell us by frequency and severity, separate them apart, and it makes for an interesting presentation. But what I'm saying is there's more we can do. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through and do our work, and then we're going to compare back to this and our original numbers. Next week, when we're kind of finalizing it, we're going to take a deeper look at the EMR and how much the company pays for its policy. And I've already found a problem. And I've spent the last couple hours playing with this, is that this number here under F, actual excessive losses, it's higher here than it is down here when they're giving us kind of an overall breakdown. So the number that I was comparing against is, I think it's right here. 418,971, 418,971, 418,971 versus 434,731. So I'm going to be calling them this week and find out why those two are different, because it should be the same number. Again, it's been me all morning to do it. I don't want to go into it right now, but I did, and we were probably going to want to do today, maybe a little bit, not today, this week, sorry, is compare like the 2017 through 2023 numbers here. We can do that to what we already calculated, and they're not perfect. The numbers aren't exact because a lot of the stuff goes by total incurred, total pay. Some of things are just a little bit off, and I'm not concerned about it. Nothing was excessive. So here's what I want to do this week is we're gonna start digging deeper, and I'm gonna do this both with and without outliers, just so you can see. So this is gonna be the results tables. Sorry, I gotta zoom in a little bit for you. These are gonna be the results tables that we're gonna be looking at as estimations for future losses. And okay, so it's kind of big. It's probably because I did some work down below. I'll just do that. Okay. We're going to do it two different ways. We're going to do it by figure, and we're going to do it by table. We're going to do it with and without outliers. And then that is going to be sort of our results. It's a more comprehensive and honest view of the data. And that's why I do it that way. I'm sorry. I don't like when things don't fit well. Apologize. I'm just going to... There. It fits better now. So if you haven't already, go ahead and put annual average. And then I average... Double click on it. I average 17 through 22 because that's what we did. But because of the percent of open claims right here, when we do the averages for the amount paid, we only go through 2021. Okay? But I think for when we remove the outliers, I think the numbers worked out to be better, or did I keep it the same? No, I still did it through 2021. I agree with that. I'll stay with that just because of the number of open claims. And I will fix this. And shrink that down to there. Make it look better. Yeah. It's always good to make it look good, make it look even. Yeah. So we're going to complete these tables, and then what we're going to do is we're going to start... I want to break it down by site first, and then with each site, we'll look at the new or the existing priorities by class code and cause. And then another video, we'll start digging deeper. And what you'll see is there'll be a lot of repetition this week. But first, we need to set it up. And so that's why I want to spend some time completing this results table. This is what is going to be the important part. So here's what we're going to do. So this is for outliers included. So for on a tab where we have the outliers still in, we can fill out this column and this column. With the outliers removed, we'll fill out this column and this column. So we won't have the outliers on this page. So on this page, we're only able to fill out these two columns. Why? Because this is with outliers in it. And we should have, oh, we don't have tables down? I thought we had figures. This is by site. Oh, you know what? I got ahead of myself. It was supposed to be by the trends here. So here's some of the information. Ignore this for now. This is going to be a discussion for next week. This is where I was trying to narrow things down. So you do not have to do that. So let's do it overall, with and without, and then I'll break it down by site, with and without. That'd be the better way to do it. So that was just, I don't know why I brought those over there, other than that's where we're going to want to be eventually. So let's practice a little bit here. So for the table number of claims, and by the way, this shouldn't be a fraction. It needs to be an integer. And I think, well, I can do that when I transfer it over. So here's what I want to do. So these are going to be the annual averages right here. And did I do it for, yep, I did up to 2021 as well. So for the table, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go equal, and then I'm going to go int for integer, and then I'm going to click on that cell. That should round it down, and it did. And I don't need a decimal point because it's the number of claims. For the total paid, I can go equal, and then just click on the total paid down here. This is an annual average. So all I'm doing is pulling information from the table here and putting it over here. And by clicking on cells and having it correct, like when it's counting, it makes it so when I copy this to a new page, it stays with it as long as this table is oriented the same way to this table. Okay? We're going to have to type in the things for the figure because we have to visually inspect it. But, so for paid average, we go equal, and then I just go over to the average and hit that. And you see it's a little bit lower for here because it takes into account these 2 years, and it's a little bit lower. So for 20 to 21, and I mean, we're going to want to indicate that, that outliers included, and with the star there, the star should indicate, and what is going on? Annual averages for total average and median based on 2017 to 2021. Okay, it needs to be put there. Okay, but for the number of claims, it's actually actually I'll just go like this. Annual, geez, right, man. Annual average for number of claims is integer of 2017 through 2022. I'm glad it shrunk it down. I was going to be frustrated there. All right. And to get rid of that thing right there, just click on those two things, go to this, and I think I should be able to get rid of it. I didn't get rid of it. I'll take care of that later. So there we go. So for the median, I go equal. And the median, I'm going to have to actually take that from up here. So the average and the median are going to be a little bit different. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick with this being from the table up here. Yeah. So I gotta amend. Yeah, I'm sorry, everybody. So annual averages for total paid based on 2017 through 2021. Annual averages for number of claims through 22. The last one is the median number of open claims and number of $0 claims all years. I've never thought of saying that, but I want to be honest with it. Yeah. So then, therefore, the number of open claims is equal to, and I go up to that table. Number of open claims is right. Oh, it's not on here. It's on that other thing right here. Number of open claims, 19. And $0, 23. So I've created it so that as we go through and we manipulate the data up above, these will automatically update. Therefore, these will automatically update. So let's do the figure now. So the number of claims for 2023, this is a forecasted estimate, is, excuse me, wow, that came on quick. Sorry about that. 2023. So this is kind of an estimate. It's above 55, it's below 60. I'm going to say, I could say 57 or 58. I always go a little bit lower. That's just me, 57. The total paid over here stays pretty much right along this 300,000. I mean, it's right below it. I could go 299. I'm just going to go 300,000 just because. 300, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that didn't work, did it? I want this to be currency. Rid of the pennies, not 30,000, it is 300,000. The average, now why would I do that if I can't calculate it here? Because really it's going to be the same stuff here, so I'm going to block that out. Is that the same color? No. Did you guys see that? I mean, it's not any different. So these are the two things we can get from these two figures here. The last thing we can do is the figure annual trend and the, okay, so here's what we're gonna do. So then this is just for total paid. Or should we do it for total paid and for number of claims? We should do it for both. We should do it for both. All right, so I don't have anything down below. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go insert. I want to insert a row. Insert. Shoot. Or you know what I'm going to do? Cut it and bring it down to here. So this is going to be figure annual trend. And this is for number of claims. And I'm going to do it for total paid as well. Annual trend. Total paid. So what am I doing right now? I am putting a description of what the trend lines are. Very simply put. And I don't have to do it for everything. I'm only going to be able to do it for the figures. So I got to block that out. Okay. So this is what it's going to look like then. Why is that lighter? I thought that I had picked a darker color. Okay, that looks better. As does that. All right. So now we're getting there. So the figure annual trend number of claims, what we're going to put in is the slope. So it's 4.9. I'm going to round that up to a 5. The R square is 0.5645. The trend for total pay, the slope number, is, I'll say $37. Oh, I got to put the dollar sign in there. $37. It doesn't change a lot. It's very low. And the R square is 0.00. So it's 0.0006, I think. Oh, went too far. Which is really bad. 0.0006. meaning it's not good at all. Basically, it's a line between a lot of dots, and that's exactly what it is. Nothing is on the line. So that's our figure with outliers included. What we want to see is when we bring this over to the next one, it looks a lot better. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy. Although, is it going to keep it to this table? I'm going to have to see. We'll have to see. Copy, go here, go right there, and paste. Yay! Dropped it in. Shouldn't be that excited about this, but yeah. All right, so now if I click it here, these are numbers, but here is, see, is it on this page or is it on the last page? It's on this page. Good. Okay. So it's just when you actually create these, you have to recreate them each time you bring it around, but the tables seem to keep the same sort of stuff. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We'd want it to be the old ones, wouldn't we? We would want it to be the old ones. So therefore, that copy paste was bad. Okay. All right. Here's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to do a copy special. Copy special with a link. I want there to be a link. I don't think I want link picture. No. What's the different other paste options? Okay, why? Something's not right. I just need to figure out what it is. Oh, okay. So these are not even things. And they're supposed to be small. And then they're supposed to be this. Okay, so the not everything here is it copied the information, but that should all be cleared. No. I'm just going to hit delete for that. I think this has to be shrunk down. I think I only have to really do this once. And then we should be okay. All right, so delete that. Delete this. These are the numbers we wanted. We will never have the figure stuff for the tables. So that needs to be filled in. And the outliers remove. So, all right, I think for the figure, we didn't have these. These will be deleted, and this will be filled in. Yep. And I fill it in just so you know that there shouldn't be anything there. That's the reason. So now let's go to the table here. So the number of claims, we're going to go equal integer right here. Hit return. And take away. So it went down. Why did it go down? Because we removed 15 outliers. Yes, 15 outliers. Total paid average is over here. Right here. And I'm just going to make sure it goes through 21. So it's 17 through 21. Even though we graphed it with the 163 in it, it's because it's just going to continue to go up. And so it's a better representation. Okay. The average. This should be interesting now. Let's see how it's changed. You see, before it just brought the other one over. So I'm going to hit return. And I'm going to go equal. And I'm going to do the median. And then I'm going to go equal. And it should, is this the one, the number of open claims? Yep. Hit return. So 2 open claims in the outliers, basically. $0 claims equal 0 entries. That's not right. Oh, because I took it from paid legal. Duh. So I have that in there. I don't know how useful that's going to be. All right. So all this stuff here is also going to be darkened because we're going to just do the figures for it. Outliers, claims removed. So this is where I'm going to have to create a little bit of a catch-all. Okay, so I'm not going to actually, I'm going to try to keep this one just to setting this up, and then I'll come back and do by site, okay? All right, so here we've got all of our stuff here. So there are a total of 15 here, and I've numbered those. So what I'm going to do is just create a column for tracking things. So I'm going to go equal count if here to oh man, are you serious? Here to here, comma, quotation mark X. So it's counting the X's. So the reason I did that is that I can now take this cell as representing the number of X's. As we start narrowing our focus, we'll just be deleting the ones down here that don't fit the qualification we're focusing on. And so therefore this will be updated. In the same idea, I'm going to add up the total amount paid here. So these are going to be my two cells that I'm going to always kind of connect with. There we go. Okay. These are my two cells that I connect with. So this is outlier total paid. This is outlier number of claims. Okay. I usually do this a little bit different each time because I kind of, whatever is working. Hopefully this works. Okay. And it doesn't matter. This can be centered. I don't care. Keep up with the justifications we want. Okay, so now what I can do is I can fill these in right here. So the outlier, sorry. Number of claims removed equals. And then I'm going to go down here, hit this. And I got to do it for each one because it's going to be a little bit different. Uh-oh, what happened there? Go equal. I think come down here and hit this. There we go. Okay. I think that's what I wanted. So that's my annual averages for the table. Okay. Now what I want to do is look at the figures and see what they are for 2023. Again, so for 2023, and I'm just going to do for right here. Okay, so I've got this and this, and I got to do those things. So I'm just going to delete them because I'm going to fill them in. Estimated number of claims. In 2023, it's between 50 and 60. I'm going to say 57. It didn't change. For the amount, okay, I got to put, this is currency. Okay, that's what we guessed before. Oh, I gotta turn these all into currency too. It didn't bring over the units. Okay, and that is 30. That's gonna be currency too. All right, remember it's the slope of the line that we're putting down there. So 57, and what is, oh, I looked at the wrong one. It's going to be right here. It's down below. Look at your stuff, dude. It's more like 55 now. So I'm going to put in 55. Which would be about right because we took out 15 over 5 years. So it'll be about 3 per year. So it's probably supposed to be 54. Does it look like 54? No, it looks like 55. All right, let's just leave it. Leave it. All right. Because they're pretty close. All right, so the other one was 300. So we said that was 300. This is in between 160 and 180. I'm going to say 170. It's just estimations. 170, 1, 2, 3. But what makes it more valuable are these down here. So what is the change per year? What's the slope? It's 5. That didn't change. What's my R square down here? 0.6352. 0.6352. So it improved when we took out the outliers. We already knew that though. What's the slope here? It's 17,140. 17,140? Is that what I said? Is that what I said? Yeah. And then 8154 is the R square. 8154.8154, which is pretty good. So given the strength of this forecasted number, due to it being high, this is what I'd like to use. This is what I'm going to use for an estimate for, with outliers. So a conservative estimate, a conservative future estimate, 170. It's much lower than the 130. It's, but it is higher than the annual average with outliers removed. So if this was a horrible number, we would use this. But because this number is above 0.8, we're going to use this. So this is going to be this is what we're going to use our estimated loss. It's a lot less than the sort of the actuals if you played by the rules, but we'll take out some outliers to try to reduce the amount of influence they have. So annually, it seems to be just under 100,000, but due to the trend, it's going up. So that's over 5 years. This is extending into 6 based on this being better. So that's for the entire company. Again, for the 2 sites we're focusing on, we're calling it the entire company. And that's why we have a little bit of a discrepancy in some of the numbers, because we did eliminate like 1 or 2 claims that occurred outside of the state. And we reclassified some of the others as M and P. That's why too. So that's why the numbers are a little bit off when I compared it, but they're really close. So this is what we're going to do. This is going to ultimately be what we're going to be filling in each time we try to narrow down by class code within a site. We're going to do this by site first. I'm going to do that in the next video. And then what we're going to basically do is just go up here, sort by a particular variable we're interested in, see if the priorities change when we remove certain things. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing from now on. That's going to allow us to go much further beyond, get more precise than just saying, oh, here's our most severe, here's our most frequent. I mean, we're already beyond that, you guys, to be honest. Or whether it was a shoulder, we don't really care about that. Whether it was a strain or a strain. We want to really try to narrow down to, well, this particular, at this site, here's your priorities. And if you don't do anything, we think that, class code X, Y, and Z is going to have this many claims resulting in this much. This other one's going to have these types of claims costing this much. And if you do nothing, it's probably going to be about this much. And that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to kind of look at it. This doesn't include these outliers, and so that'd be big too. But if we were to include it in, this is what it represents from a total. Trying to say, okay, from a Pareto ratio perspective, this is the best bang for your investment buck. So chew on that for a little bit. In the next one, we'll actually start breaking down by site, looking at class codes and causes.